Matthew chapter 16, verses 24 to 26. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? How much do you love Jesus? Do you love him enough to put down that bottle? Do you love him enough to quit the drugs? Do you love him enough to get rid of the porn? Do you love him enough to forgive the people that have hurt you? Do you love him enough to stop hating? Do you love him enough to stop living in sin with somebody? Do you love him enough to not go through with the abortion? Do you love him enough to get out of that ungodly alternative lifestyle? Do you love him enough to stop stealing? Do you love him enough to stop lying? Do you love him enough to give up the horoscopes, the psychics, and the witchcraft? Do you love him enough to stop gambling? Do you love him enough to stop gossiping? Do you love him enough to stop fighting? Do you love him enough to stop causing drama? Do you love him enough to stop judging? Do you love him enough to stop hurting people? Do you love him enough to stop hurting yourself? Do you love him enough to stop cheating? Do you love him enough to be a better husband or wife? Do you love him enough to be a better parent? Do you love him enough to be a better son or daughter? Do you love him enough to be a better brother or sister? Do you love him enough to stand up for the truth? Do you love him enough to preach the gospel? Do you love him enough to put him first? Do you love God with all of your heart, mind, soul, and strength? Do you love your neighbor as yourself? How much do you love Jesus? I didn't write this post to judge anybody or to make anyone feel bad. I did it to make you think.